As the final ballots are cast in the West Bengal Assembly Elections, the immense pressure of the campaign shifts entirely to the results. The physical voting data is locked away inside heavily fortified strongrooms. Inside Kolkata's Netaji Indoor Stadium, the scale of this operation is massive. The sprawling arena is partitioned into distinct counting sections, operating under late-night surveillance. But the quiet of the post-election night was shattered when rival political mergers clashed right outside the venue. Protesters aggressively faced off against Kolkata Police. Supporters from both the Trinamool Congress and the BJP converged on the gates, raising competing slogans. It created a highly volatile standoff that threatened to boil over at any second. Steel doors and locks are only one part of the security equation. The legitimacy of the vote also rests on the crowd outside, where a lack of transparency can turn a quiet night into a midnight standoff. The spark for this midnight standoff came from high-profile Trinamool candidates. They claimed to have witnessed illicit activities happening inside the strongrooms. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee personally arrived near the strongroom at the Shakawat Memorial Center, giving these allegations massive political weight. The politicians pointed to a very specific, unsettling visual. Through the darkness of the locked corridors, they observed shadowy movements and the distinct beams of operating torchlights. If these claims were accurate, the democratic process was actively being compromised. But if they were false, this was a dangerous piece of political theater, completely capable of inciting a violent mob. To combat the rapidly spreading rumors, West Bengal Chief Electoral Officer Manoj Kumar Agarwal swiftly intervened with a detailed breakdown of the state's security protocols. This is a technical view of the electronic voting machine components, the ballot and control units, that the state is tasked with protecting. Agarwal explained the rigid physical hardware protocols used to secure this actual voting data. He laid out a strict, documented timeline of the night's events. Every strongroom was systematically closed and sealed, culminating with the final room lockdown precisely at 5:15 a.m. None of these sealings happened in secret. Each lockdown occurred in the direct, documented presence of the concerned political candidates and their official election agents. Institutional trust relies entirely on bureaucratic transparency. Because every lock and seal is mutually witnessed and formally documented, undetected tampering of the machines is practically impossible. So, what exactly were the shadowy movements and torchlights seen in the corridors? This image shows officials sorting paper ballots, not tampering with EVMs. They were manually separating postal ballots from various centers. Despite available electricity, this heavy paper sorting happened in corridors using focused torchlight, which observers afar completely misinterpreted. The definitive proof of transparency was already in their inboxes. The returning officers had previously sent emails to all political parties outlining this exact postal ballot sorting exercise. A legally mandated standard administrative procedure was observed without its proper context. Under the lens of intense political paranoia, it instantly warped into a conspiracy theory. Once the electoral officer presented this concrete evidence to the protesting Trinamool leaders, the immediate tension began to dissipate. The politicians accepted the reality of the postal ballot sorting, ended their protest outside the gates, and left the venue, effectively killing the rumor in its tracks. But the incident left a lasting systemic consequence. The Election Commission and the local police realized that this level of political volatility was simply too dangerous to ignore moving forward. The Kolkata Police immediately enforced strict prohibitory orders. They banned all large gatherings across 7 critical counting areas to prevent any sudden mob formations. Safeguarding the count now requires a dual operation, securing the hardware inside the strongrooms and aggressively isolating the venues from the volatile influence of the street.